Welcome to another episode of Reley's Career Talks. I'm your host, Foley,
Hi, and I'm Rebecca.
and today we have another great guest for you guys. One of my dearest and closest friends I've known for years, and I like her to introduce herself to the audience.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Rebecca and Foley, for having me. My
Mhm.
name is Abena Ampofo, and I am an early childhood educator along with a creative producer for Ava Marks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about how you got started in education first, too. So take us back to the beginning,
Mm.
beginning of education.
Well, I think when I was younger, like when we were growing up, I always really enjoyed kids and I liked teaching and seeing how it can kind of like spark ideas. And so from there, I kind of just grew into it. And then when I was in college, I got the chance to be a part of it was a federal work study job called American Read/Counts, where we get to go to different schools and we would help tutor kids who needed help, like in math or English.
Mhm.
So I really feel like from there and growing there, I was there for like 4 years. So my entire like college life at U of I, that's where I was and I was teaching. And I just loved it how like every year there was a new group of students, but of course, like they had some struggles that they had, but throughout the end of the year, or even within a couple months, they were able to soar. And then just kind of seeing like that whole like, oh man, like I can do it. And to it really just continued to like spark my interest because I graduated with a degree in public health
Mhm.
and I was going to do physical therapy.
So
But
my partner
Well,
got
I'm
it.
doing public health.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it, but I just really enjoyed more working with children instead. So after I graduated, I kind of just shifted myself into early childhood because I really enjoyed the younger ages. And I think that there are a lot of things that we learn when we're young. And it also helped me produce more knowledge of kind of like how adults end up kind of forming. One thing I've learned from working with early childhood is that you can see the quirks of how a person would technically be, and like at least in my perspective of how they would like react to things in the future. I kind of see the way like kids kind of react to things now, but because of the fact that when you're young, you don't know the coping mechanisms that we've all kind of ended up learning now in our adult ages, and we've been trying to like cater to like our inner child. But one thing I've learned is that like if you start kind of noticing those now and you start focusing on them and helping that child like grow through it throughout time and time again, they can grow and then we'll just have more, I feel like more sound and understanding adults.
Okay,
Okay.
that sounds good. So, now you're doing that right now, but you said you're also doing something else. So, can we talk about what else you're doing besides early education and things of that nature? And then also, what range are you? Early education is, I'm assuming, kindergarten age, or am I off?
Well, early education is actually like from
Preschool?
infancy up until five.
Oh, oh, okay, okay.
Mhm.
So it's really like
Sounds good.
preschool, infancy. A lot of the things that I've realized is that as we're children or as things that we kind of develop in later on in life, if they're a child is fully like pretty much developed by the time they get to the age of 5 years. So that
Mhm.
even in terms also applies to like kind of like developmental delays or things of that sort. If you're able to catch that at a younger age, that's how it is that children are or people are more so likely to succeed earlier in life, because by the time you're age of 5, like your body and like mannerisms and things how you develop in your brain, they kind of form by the age of 5. So that's
Mhm.
why it's always great. So I really got into early childhood because I wanted to do more of early prevention.
Mhm.
Mm.
But
Okay.
my other thing that I do like to do is that I love events and I love creating like moments for people. So that's
Mhm.
like my creative brain side, is that I love being involved with like the community. I'm a part of like Ghana National Council, and I also enjoy, I think events really hit me because those are like one of your once in a lifetime things. I've had plenty of promoters where, you know, you go have a birthday party and then you get
Yeah.
there, now you can't get in. And then like it ruins your night and everything of that sort. So I
Yeah.
got more into the events and kind of really creating those like memorable moments for people.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't mean to brag for my friend though, but she's done a lot of stuff in the city of Chicago.
Right.
Like the one thing that always, you know, I always go to Chicago every, you know, I try to go every year, but since COVID hit, but you also help with organizing the Ghana festival in summer. So can you talk a little bit about that as well too? Is that part of your umbrella from your company?
Well, with the community aspect and being a
Mhm.
part of Ghana Fest, we were more so like when our parents started it when we were younger, they started like
Mhm.
the Ghana Council, and it was at first like a student union where they just kind of got together. And of course, back then in the times when they came, it was like the 1960s.
Yeah.
So as we all know, that's kind of like during where civil rights, segregation, and like all of those issues were happening. So then them migrating from the US to here, they kind of wanted to keep like a close-knit family. And like looking back on pictures, I can kind of see now how it actually grew and things. So they started the council, and then from there it was like the God tribe, they came up with their Hodoa festival,
Mhm.
and then the other like tribes around in Chicago, they all asked, and then they started creating the Ghana festival. So the Ghana Fest is where all of the tribes within Chicago, they're all dressed up, and we profess our culture, or we display our culture to the Chicago community. So it's been going on since 19, I think it was 88. So Ghana Fest has been going on for about 30, this year will be the 33rd year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
30, yeah.
And so it's been interesting because my dad, he was the Elway chief for 26 years. So my sister and I, we grew up as, you know, the girls who dance. We were like the Bobobo girls with our cousins. And then there was also the Shanti group, and they have the Adowa people. So we were really like the babies that helped like grow the community and things like that. So of course, when you're younger, you never really think about how much of a part you play in it. You just know that mommy and daddy said I have to go and practice. And so I have to practice, and I know God, I have to come and perform and everything like that. And you never do think about how much like it really plays a factor and how much it's grown within you. Because I mean, I've never missed a Ghana Fest. So
Mhm.
that's one thing. And I know like sometimes it like dies off. But one thing about the beauty of Ghana Fest is that it's not just for Ghanaians in Chicago, it's Ghanaians worldwide. So like
Mhm.
Washington Park turns into Ghana for the day, where you have food and music and cultural displays. And then they also try and get like some African dignitaries to come.
Oh,
And
that's
they
nice.
also try and get African artists to come and perform. And it's just like we can have Ghana in the park for a day. And you get
Mhm.
to teach your friends more about Ghana. And then you get to meet more people from Ghana, and then like from the other states they all come, so it's like a big, you know, it's our family reunion.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it is. Like it's really just a big family reunion. Everybody knows, come to Chicago July and last weekend of
I know.
July, and you just have a great time. So it's just been a blessing now to kind of grow up into it and try
Mhm.
and keep it going for the next generation. I
Yeah.
think like our generation who like we're starting it, we're the bridge between our elders and the younger.
Mhm.
And I can see how like if us as like the bridge don't try and keep this connection together, then you know they'll lose who we were, and then our legacies and things won't move on. So
Mhm.
I think it's a
Mhm.
very big responsibility of understanding like the bigger picture
Mhm.
of being a part of it, and how like us doing these little things here can really help continue to inform our children for the future.
Okay, sounds
Mhm.
good. I know that Foley was telling me that you're also, I think, doing things in Ghana, or you're mostly based here. So where's your base, I guess, or where would you do you do events back home as well, or is it basically mostly here in the Chicago area or in the Chicago area?
I mostly do them here for now,
Okay.
but I am interested in going back home and working
Mm-hmm.
more for back home. I think one thing as being a diasporan is that you've kind of gotten a chance to see two different ways of life.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And especially since like now that I'm an adult versus from the time when I went in Ghana, when I first went to Ghana, I was 5 years old. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're five, you're running around, you don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
But then now, as I've gone as an adult and I've grown and I've been through things and things like that, so I really see where, to an extent, it's where we can try and lend in a hand to help.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of us have all understood like now how like corruption and things and like just little necessities. And I think that there's a lot of things that we can teach. And there's a lot of things that our people are not being taught.
Mm-hmm.
And it's creating a deficiency, not a deficiency in them, but one thing I've realized is that working in education and working in different fields, it's not the factor of like somebody's not capable of doing it. It's like they don't have the resources to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So already it doesn't limit you, but it does make you think about new ways to do it. But there are
Mm-hmm.
also things that we do back home that it takes 6 times as longer when it doesn't really have to. But because nobody's showing them that it could be done faster, we're just using more of our physical strength rather than our mental strength.
Okay.
That's true.
So I do want to go back to kind of put more emphasis to help in education sectors and also with public health and sanitation and just kind of giving them our people like kind of more of the resources that they need to sustain themselves.
Mm.
That sounds good.
With Ava Marks too, do you it's not just festivals. Do you guys do weddings and of course parties and club?
Oh, yeah. So yes,
Talk a
we
little bit
do
about
like
that too.
we do everything. So I mean events, any events. I know like COVID has happened and so we are still doing weddings, just more quiet ones. Events, more just personal events as well too. I'm also she's shifting now into more of design printing
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
of Avamar. So if there are items that you need like for your event, like let's say you have thank you favors, or if you're having like wedding gifts that you want to give away, we're redesigning her website. And
Mhm.
so it's gonna come with a whole bunch of customizations of different types of things in terms of education and business and home decor as well too, and that you can kind of customize and make yourself as well. But then there's also we have consultations as well, and we can provide like event services as well too.
Okay.
That sounds good. What are some of the things moving into that event space where you found were challenges for you, and how did you overcome those challenges?
One thing about being in event spaces and working those is that understanding how you want the guests to travel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're supposed to walk into an event, do you want the coat rack all the way over here, or do you want it more closer to the door? Would it be better? Does it make the room look smaller if you turn the table this way or if you turn it that way? So I think working with the different dimensions and trying to put in everything that your client wants, but also still staying within their budgets and then producing a nice event. I think those are kind of the major challenges. I think the other one is that when people want to bring their own food.
Mhm.
Oh.
And
Hmm.
I think finding the BYOB places and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, that's the twist about banquet halls. Banquet halls, in my opinion, I always feel like that's let me throw that out
Yes, share your
there.
excellent opinion,
Yes.
please.
I always feel like, I don't know, banquet halls, it's not fair enough for the people who are getting it because you could shell out like $30,000 for a banquet hall, but then the food is bad. And then
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
don't give you the option of like
Mm-hmm.
really working with you of like at least, okay, well, fine. If we don't want your food, can we get like a licensed caterer to
Yeah.
bring in our own food, you know? And I
Yeah.
always feel
And their
like
rice
that,
be dry as hell too.
no matter how many food
Everything
tastings
be
you go
dry, no
to,
salt. It just
let
be
me
all
tell
off.
you, the food tasters don't work
I
because that
know.
one plate does not equate for the 300 plates he has to make.
He
And
said,
so,
we can save this for the other events."
right. That's what I always feels like the sad part. So that is the one thing I want to do. I want to get my own event space so
Mhm.
that
Mm.
people can have their free option of like doing it how they want. And I also think like it's kind of hard sometimes because people really try and put blocks on what it is you're doing.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so that's another thing too. Like you can find a great event space, but it always depends on somebody else. It depends on the owner, it depends on how they feel. If they think about how they think about your event. Is your event going to be okay? This and third. And then, we also have some strikes against us. So,
Mhm.
it always creates that sadness. So that's one thing I've learned is that at least our people in terms of like getting event spaces, it can be a lot more difficult, but it's still, they always turn out nice. People have a great time. That's my
That's
Yeah,
at least,
good.
that's
yes.
good. Uh, First of all, how did you come up with the name Ava Marks anyway? That's something I always wondered.
Ava, that's my little baby. Okay,
Oh.
so Ava is actually okay. So I come up with things. So a vision mark. It's called Ava Marks, making a mark on your vision.
Mhm.
So a vision is like, so it's like vision marks, like a check mark. So that's like
Mhm.
me making the mark. And then the A's come from Abena Ampofo.
Okay.
So it's like Abena Ampofo's vision marks. And I just messed up that with
Oh.
Ava. So Abena Ampofo's vision.
Oh, that's
Oh,
clever.
nice. That's
That's
Yeah.
clever.
clever.
Can't
And
see
do
it's my
you,
brain.
yeah. And do you do virtual planning as well too? Like is not only for Chicago, but there's a lot of our people around the country. Do you also do like consultation for
Yes,
around the
through the
country?
wonders of Zoom. See, now it's
Mm-hmm.
okay to sit here and do things from home, and now you're not looking
Yes.
lazy like you don't want to come out.
Yeah.
So thankfully,
Oh man, why'd you
yes,
have to tell people my business?
I think that's like I know like quarantine has been not the best, but
Hmm.
of course, I mean we have found new ways to communicate through with each other. So now having Zoom calls and Zoom meetings, they don't seem so foreign as much
Hmm.
as before, where people would really like to have you with them and sitting
Mhm.
next to them. Now it's understood. Like, how about we set up a Zoom? Like, sure. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I'll do them virtually as well too.
Okay.
Okay. And also around the states. I mean, around the yeah.
Worldwide,
Okay.
nationwide.
Okay. All right.
I
We just
I
want
can
to make
get flown
sure,
out
Yeah.
if
however
everyone's
you want
interested,
to.
Yes.
they can know.
You hear that DMV? Go to
I like to get flown out too.
So what's next for Abena too? What is anything, big planning for your new business? Anything new coming up for you?
Mhm.
What's next is that I'm really now I'm gonna get the time to focus more on Ava
Mm-hmm.
and really bringing it out to the forefront. I think one thing about working like the two lives of like being an entrepreneur and being in the working class, I think there's a lot of mental that people don't let you know about it. It's more
Mhm.
so about like, yeah, save up your money and then, yeah, find your passion and go out there. But it's a lot of mental battling back and forth. Like, am I making a smart decision? A lot of things just depend on you. Like, it's true. Like, if I don't wake up and go, yeah, if I don't wake up and go, I could make it a sick day. But
Mm-hmm.
if I don't wake up and go, or if I don't wake up and do what I need to do, I don't get anything. So there's a lot more pressure on you, I think. And I also think sometimes between the two that I think people aren't respecting one just as much as they should respect the other. Because
Mm-hmm.
everybody can't be an entrepreneur. And I don't think everybody is fit out for the 9 to 5, just like everybody's not okay to go to college, just like everybody's not a basketball player, a music star, this and that. And I think now is the time where people have been able to find like what works for them
Mhm.
and how it is that they can fit it into their schedules of life and moving. So now with Ava, since school will be coming to an end, getting a lot of her printing orders out, kind of getting it known what it is that I do in more of a sense, seeing how well I can meet new people. I mean, with the summer approaching and things like that. So just really working on her and making her
That's
shine.
exciting. I
It's
really
exciting.
wish you well on that.
Yeah.
Um, just before we close, so how can people reach out to you? Because you have your company, and I'm sure everyone's going to be excited to check out what you do. So, what are your IG handles, or how you have a website they can check out? So, how can we reach you? How can our viewers reach you?
So for Ava, her Instagram is _Ava_Marks_. And then for my Instagram handle, it's BENA_BA_.
Okay.
So, and then the website will be coming out. I'm looking for like a May launch.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Let us
Well,
know so we
Yeah.
can
yes,
tag
please.
that.
Yeah.
That would
And
be
this
really good, actually.
And it'll work for all like custom orders. So it's anything that you want customized. So even if you want like a relay services and you
Okay.
want like a sign behind you, we can
Oh,
customize
We
it.
do need
Yeah, so
one.
it's like
yeah.
So we've made our
customizing.
order in already.
Yeah.
Abena, this is our
Yeah.
Come
official.
on, let's
This is our
go.
official order.
Yeah, man. You didn't even tell me this, man. All the
It
years.
was under wraps, Foley. It was under wraps.
She was working on
Yeah.
it.
Then we have to cancel our order from the other person now. I'm joking.
Shh, don't tell them here.
They don't gotta know. They don't gotta know.
Yeah. But thank you so much, Abena, for
Oh,
coming
thank
on the
you both
show.
for
It was
having
nice,
me.
you talking about, of course, your professional life as well as your career too.
Mhm.
I remember you mentioned like it was like, not a lot of people can do, the regular 9 to 5 or entrepreneur, but you managed to do both. So,
It's a burnout though. It
yeah,
is.
it is. I don't know.
It's a
You see the
burnout.
bags under my eyes too. So
Cover them.
yeah, it's a crazy time. But thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for
Yes.
having me. I appreciate you
Thank you
too,
so
bro. Thank you,
Yes.
Rebecca.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Yes,
Oh,
Savannah.
it's nice to meet you.
All right.
All
Take
right, you guys.
take
Thank you
care.
for all you're doing and just letting and highlighting us. We really appreciate
Oh,
it.
no
Yes, of
problem. We gotta
course.
support Black businesses all day, every day. So
This is true.
all right.
All
Thank you so
right,
much,
thank you.
Abena.
So,
Take care.
bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, guys, that wraps up our episode with Abena. So, if you guys are interested in checking out her website and not her website, sorry, her LinkedIn, we'll put that information down here below. And also, as we close out this episode, please feel free to reach out to us about any other topics like to talk about, or people or things that you want us to address on our talk series. So thank you guys for viewing our show today. And I'm going to turn it over to Foley.
Yes, so you can reach us at our social media sites at Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Reley's Career Services LLC. Also, you can go to our website, which is Reley'sCareerServices.com. If you need help with resumes, cover letters, or mock interviews or career counseling, you can submit. There's a submission page which you can ask questions or submit requests for services for us as well too. But thank you for being on listen to our show, and you have a great day.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right, take care.